Hi, I'm Scott Dingwell, and I'd like to welcome you to this short video that we hope will give you a useful overview of the LifePath funds. The LifePath funds were designed to be a simple solution for participants who'd rather have a professional put together a diversified mix of asset classes for them. Not only do they provide a well-diversified mix of investments all within one fund, they also change that mix over time to slowly lower the risk level of each fund as participants age and get closer to retirement. Because these funds provide an automated asset allocation solution, they may be attractive if you don't have the time, interest, or knowledge to do this on your own. Each of the LifePath funds, except for the retirement fund, which I'll talk about in a minute, has a date in its name that signifies when it will reach its most conservative asset mix. The funds are designed so that participants can pick a portfolio with the target year close to when they expect to retire, or more precisely, when they think they'll start withdrawing money from the defined contribution plan. So let's say in 2012 you're 32 and you expect to retire at age 65, which would be 2012 plus 33 is 2045. If you think you'll start withdrawing money out immediately, you'd probably want to invest in the LifePath 2045 fund. Or let's say you think you'll use some taxable savings first, you might want to use the 2050 fund, which would reach its most conservative point in 2050, 5 years into your retirement. Let's say after doing the math that you realize you'll be retiring and starting to withdraw funds in 2047. That's midway between the LifePath 2045 and 2050 funds. So you might want to split your money 50-50 between those two. Bottom line, picking a LifePath fund is easy. Just pick the fund closest to when you think you'll start withdrawing money from your account. So let's go into a bit more detail on how these funds work and what they invest in. To begin with, each of the LifePath funds invests in several different asset classes, including U.S. domestic large, mid, and small cap stocks, international stocks, global real estate, commodities, domestic fixed income, both traditional U.S. bond securities and TIPS, Treasury inflation protected securities. So one important point to take away is that you only need one LifePath fund to have a fully diversified portfolio. You can't increase your level of diversification by investing in several funds at the same time. Doing so would just spread your money out across the same asset classes, but with different target years. Kind of like taking 5 multivitamins that all have the same ingredients. Another important feature of these funds is that they change their asset allocation over time, so that once you invest in one LifePath fund, you don't have to worry about rebalancing into a lower risk fund as your balance grows and your time frame shrinks. It all happens automatically. Let me explain the logic behind this process. Most investment experts will tell you that the time to take the most risk with your savings is when you're young. There are 2 reasons for this. First, you have a lot of time ahead of you, and some investments, like equities, may take many years before they achieve the sorts of returns they're known for. Another reason to take more risk is that when you're young, your balance is probably pretty low, which means that if there are losses, you don't really have that much money to lose. Although no one likes losses, I'd certainly rather lose 25% of $1,000 than 25% of $100,000. Likewise, when you're near retirement, your balance should be near its highest level. And this is when an investment professional would probably advise you to avoid taking excessive amounts of risk. When you're so close to retirement, you won't want to see significant losses in your account, and you also won't have much time to make up losses before needing to convert your balance into a secure source of income for retirement. So the LifePath funds slowly change their asset allocation from mainly stocks when the target year is far off to mainly bonds when they approach their target year. Let me tell you about what happens when each fund gets to the target year. As you've just heard, that's when it will have reached its lowest level of risk. At that time, each dated fund is merged into the LifePath Retirement Fund. That's the one fund whose asset allocation doesn't change over time. It stays at a constant mix of roughly 62% fixed income and 38% equity and other growth-oriented investments. So the mix for the LifePath Retirement Fund is calculated to do 2 things. First, it should allow you to have a steady percentage drawdown during your retirement years without too much risk of running out of money. And also, it has enough growth-oriented investments to help keep your spending power protected from inflation. I'd like to add a couple of important comments about what these funds can help with and what they can't help with. Although the LifePath funds are designed to make it easy to have a well-balanced portfolio, it still remains your responsibility to ensure that you're contributing enough to the plan, and that if your retirement plans change, you change to another fund that better reflects your new plans. Lastly, although these funds offer an easy way to invest, they cannot fully insulate you from troublesome markets. There are no guarantees, either before or after the target year. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like more information on the LifePath funds, please go to the Merrill Benefits Online website. Thank you.